Like, these lineups are every single night?
A little bit on the expensive side, but I mean, it's cheaper at nighttime. Yeah.
It's about 7 to 8 cents cheaper, right?
I got a question for you. Have you ever noticed that the price of gas drops at night, but only at some stations? And why is it that some will cut you a deal when others won't? And if they can sell it to you at one price at night, why not just a few hours earlier?
It does seem like that, yeah.
Oh, I don't know why. It's just what I've been told growing up, to be honest.
We kept an eye on a couple of local gas stations over a few days and looked at daytime prices versus what they charged at night. And lo and behold, not all, but some stations were consistently offering cheaper gas at night. But why is that? Is it evidence of something unsavory? Or is there a reason some stations fluctuate even though the wholesale price hasn't changed?
And really that comes down to supply and demand. And at nighttime, they tend to be quieter. And some dealers choose to lower the price in order to attract customers. You know, dealers operate on a very small markup compared to the total price of gasoline.
That markup represents about 10 to 12 cents per liter, and he says different stations have different strategies. So if they're cutting prices in the evening, they're likely eating into their own operating costs in the hope that increased volume will offset the loss.
And if they can sell more at night, they can afford to operate on a lower markup.
Meanwhile, Dan McTeague of Gas Buddy says the strategy is common in other Canadian cities, but newer to the Lower Mainland. He agrees it's a sign of ultra competition and says it's not an indication that the retailer is gouging you.
Well, if you're going to look at where any money is being made, it's always at the more obscure refinery level. It's not at the retail level.
McTeague says the wholesale price for gasoline is public information, meaning you can actually calculate your local station's markup in seconds.
The wholesale price is 89.8 cents a liter. I add my federal tax of 10 cents, my provincial taxes and carbon tax, that's 44.39 plus 89.8. That gives me a subtotal of 134.19 times the GST, which is 5%, plus 134.19. And that gives me $1.40.9. And that's the price most gas stations pay.
And that puts the markup at this Shell station below 10 cents per liter. As for whether those evening discounts are worth it, both the analysts I spoke with said they probably are. In Vancouver, David Zura, City News.